Can I help you?
I wanted to see if I could get some of that. You know, I got a big party going on up
Do you have money?
I got a lot of money.
Come on, come in.
What do you need?
Listen, I was thinking about trying to get some drugs, but I don't like illegal drugs. I want to know if you could fill out a prescription. American wise ass. You don't like American smart ass, huh? Oh man, that's not a freebase accident. That's syphilis.
I hear he's some kind of expert fighter, grand master or something. I went through some of that stuff when I was in the military. Yeah, that martial arts stuff looks pretty. Looks great in the movies. In real life, I don't know.
Jack?
Well, I hope for your sake he is here.
Hey, Harry.
Hey, Jack.
I thought this meeting was just you and me.
We want to help, Jack. And to prove it. Sorry, Harry.
The CIA wants you dead.
You see, that's who has my daughter. I guess you guys know that.
She's a taxi driver. All taxi drivers in this city work for the police. I assure you, she doesn't have your daughter.
I'm done talking.
You're done where is she?
How are you? Things are good? All right. Where's my daughter? I want her down here.
I don't think so. You got 60 seconds to give me the item, or she's about to take a dive off that balcony.
The story begins with Jack Foster, a retired CIA operative, who now runs a martial arts dojo where he trains his students. During a session, he demonstrates a technique known as dim mak. One of the students asks him to explain how the technique works, and he provides a brief demonstration. After training, Jack returns home to meet his 8-year-old daughter, Amanda. They plan to travel to Romania, the country where Amanda's late mother was born, to mark the anniversary of her passing. As they prepare for the trip, Jack receives a call from his former CIA colleague and father-in-law, George, who is scheduled to travel with them. George has secretly obtained the formula for a deadly bioweapon known as the MK-Ultra virus from a Black Ops division and intends to sell it.
Well, come on, let's order. This place is an hour away from complete mayhem.
Before their departure, he discreetly gives Jack a small electronic device containing the formula. Upon arrival at the Bucharest airport, Foster and Amanda are met by Harry, a former CIA buddy who has mysteriously reappeared after not seeing Jack for about 8 years. As they move through the terminal, Foster loses his passport. Once outside, he quickly notices it is missing and decides to go back for it, instructing Amanda to take his bag and wait with George in the car.
Jack, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I live here.
Foster finds the passport as the group exits the airport and approaches their vehicle. A powerful car bomb detonates, destroying George's limousine and killing him instantly. Amid the smoke, a female operative posing as a cab driver kidnaps Amanda. Panicked and desperate to rescue his daughter, Foster is joined by Harry. They immediately set out to track Amanda.
Will you sit down and stay still?
But despite their efforts, they lose her trail. With no immediate options, Harry takes Foster to a CIA safe house in Romania. However, Foster quickly becomes suspicious. He questions the timing of Harry's sudden reappearance, especially since his daughter was kidnapped and George was killed on the very same day Harry returned after years of absence.
You know what I'm thinking?
I know what you're thinking. You don't trust me.
Harry denies any involvement and promises to help recover Amanda, but his actions soon prove otherwise. As he leaves the building, he secretly locks Jack inside a secured room and, instead of walking away, sends 4 armed men back to eliminate him, confirming his role in the kidnapping.
He's yours.
Jack remains calm. He improvises weapons from objects in the room and, once prepared, uses a gramophone to distract the gunman. One by one, he takes them down and escapes the building. Outside, he intercepts Harry, knocks him unconscious, and forces him into an SUV. Under pressure, Harry confesses that the kidnapping connects to a biological weapons project known as MK-Ultra, a lethal and untraceable virus. He explains that Jack's father-in-law, George, stole the formula and intended to sell it to the highest bidder, including the KGB. The Russians now believes George passed the formula to Foster. According to Harry, they will not release Amanda until they recover it. Foster gives Harry 2 hours to find his daughter, warning that he will track down and kill everyone involved if he fails.
Got 2 hours to find my daughter. You understand? Yeah. 2 hours.
Later, Harry goes to the U.S. Embassy and meets with the ambassador and CIA agents Waters and Schmidt. The ambassador orders her team to locate Amanda, hoping they can persuade Foster to exchange the formula for her safe return.
What if Jack wasn't carrying it?
I'm holding you responsible.
Meanwhile, as Jack walks through the city, 2 corrupt Romanian police officers, Sika and Uric, arrest him and take him to the station. There, he encounters Anya, the woman who kidnapped Amanda. They attempt to force him to reveal the MK-Ultra formula.
I'm done talking.
Foster brutally overpowers Sika and Uric, and nearly captures Anya before she escapes. Foster later arrives at a building to meet Harry, who stands with Schmidt and Chambers. Suddenly, Chambers pulls out a gun and shoots Harry. Foster reacts instantly, killing Chambers and exchanging gunfire with Schmidt, who escapes and contacts Walters.
Yeah, Waters.
It's me.
Schmidt, where are you? Give me an update.
We lost him.
Are you telling me you've lost Jack?
I lost Jack.
Have you got the item?
I don't have Jack or the item. We lost him.
Jesus. You get back here right away. And don't talk to anybody en route.
Okay.
It becomes clear that even Walters operates corruptly and intends to sell the formula to the highest bidder, all without the ambassador's knowledge. At the location where Amanda is being held, Anya speaks with her and explains that she kidnapped her to protect her from the Russians and the corrupt Romanian police. Anya reveals that she once worked as an intelligence agent in England but lost her husband and daughter 3 years earlier when members of her own agency killed them. Since that betrayal, she trusts no one. Determined to gather information, Foster visits a Russian nightclub, hoping to identify those responsible for Amanda's abduction. When he begins demanding answers, the club owner and his security team treat him with arrogance and underestimate him. Foster responds decisively, defeats them, and takes cash from the office. When the club's accountant attempts to shoot him, Foster reacts first and kills her before escaping in a cab. Knowing Anya works as a cab driver, Jack asks another driver to take him to Club Lido. However, most drivers in the city act as police informants, and the driver immediately contacts the corrupt officers. Inside the club, Foster spots Anya and confronts her in the women's restroom just as Sika, Uric, and several patrol cars arrive. Anya draws a gun, but Foster quickly disarms her and drags her to a private room, where he ties her to a chair and demands answers. After enduring pressure and intimidation, Anya finally explains that the Romanian police work closely with Russian mob factions and intend to use Amanda to force Foster to surrender the formula, while certain CIA agents also want it for themselves. Before she finishes her confession, Russian gunmen storm the club after receiving a tip from the police chief.
Посмотри наверх, он где-то.
Foster fights his way through them and escapes with Anya. During their escape, Anya admits that she has been keeping Amanda in a secure location and offers a deal. She had worked with Harry because he promised to help her leave the country and start a new life in America. Now that Harry is dead, she asks Foster to help her obtain safe passage to America in exchange for his daughter's return. Foster reluctantly agrees.
Well, as long as I get her back, I don't really care what you do.
They arrive at Anya's apartment to retrieve important documents, but the police storm the building. Anya shoots one officer in self-defense, and they manage to escape. Unbeknownst to them, Schmidt also orchestrated the bombing of George's limousine at the airport. Jack and Anya lie low for the night in a large house outside the city. The following day, Schmidt and one of his men locate Amanda's hideout by tracking the wheelchair man who has been watching over her. They kill him and abduct Amanda. When Foster and Anya arrive, they discover the carnage. Amanda's backpack remains behind, and inside it, Foster finds the MK Ultra formula. At that moment, Sika and Ulrich enter. Sika seizes Anya and holds a gun to her head, demanding the formula. Foster reacts quickly, shoots both officers, and escapes with Anya. Sika dies, but the wounded Ulrich contacts the Russians and arranges a meeting on the roof of a parking garage. Back at Anya's hideout, Foster calls a trusted CIA friend who specializes in cyber operations and asks him to hack into the MK Ultra project to shut it down permanently. On the parking garage roof, Ulrich meets the Russians, but they have grown tired of his failures and begin beating him. During the interrogation, Anya calls the Russian leader as part of a larger strategy. She claims Foster plans to meet Walters and Schmidt at the Central Library, intending to set them up. After the call ends, the Russians kill Ulrich. As Foster and Anya leave their hideout, a helicopter opens fire on them. They realize the attackers work for Walters. They retreat inside and escape through a side exit to Anya's cab. The helicopter pursues them, but they abandon the vehicle in nearby woods. Foster positions himself carefully and fires at the helicopter, eventually causing it to crash and explode. Later, Foster waits in the ambassador's office at the embassy. He tells her that if she wants the MK Ultra formula secured, she must grant Anya an American passport. After the ambassador agrees, Foster instructs her to arrange a meeting with Walters at the Central Library.
Jack Foster's made contact. Wants to set up a meeting.
Says he has what we're looking for.
Where and when?
Central Library, 10 a.m. He thinks
You have his daughter.
We'll be there.
At the library, Foster meets Schmidt and Walters and calmly states that he will not hand over the formula until he sees his daughter. Walters signals one of his men, who brings Amanda onto a balcony above them. Walters gives Foster 60 seconds to surrender the formula or watch Amanda fall. Anya moves discreetly to protect Amanda. Suddenly, Russian gunmen arrive and open fire, turning the library into a battlefield. Foster eliminates the attackers and confronts the Russian leader and his final henchmen.
Now, may I have the item, please?
Using a precise and devastating martial arts strike, he blinds the leader, leaving him helpless. As Foster prepares to leave, George steps into his path, revealing that he survived the limousine explosion. He orchestrated everything, using Foster as an unsuspecting courier to move the formula to Romania, where he intended to sell it to criminal organizations. Feeling betrayed by his own family, Foster ends the confrontation with a powerful martial arts strike to George's chest, sending him crashing into a wall, where he collapses and dies. Meanwhile, Foster's hacker friend breaches the MK Ultra system and activates its self-destruct protocol, destroying the project and everyone involved in its operation. With the threat eliminated, Foster reunites with Amanda. In the aftermath, the ambassador provides Jack with a passport for Anya, honoring their agreement and granting her a chance to start over in America. After returning to the United States with Amanda, Jack rewards her bravery by buying her a horse, giving them both a moment of peace after the chaos in Romania. Subscribe for more dramas like this, and don't forget to like this video, it really helps the channel grow.